obviously to have all my AWS accounts in one place. Okay. So it's easy for me to actually, for now, I can choose one and I just go into it. Okay. That's not the scope of this yet. We are not learning AWS, but I think that down the line, I need to show you how to do this. So I'm here in this AWS account. I can go to Cloud9. Let me make sure I can. So Cloud9 is not here, so I can type it Cloud9. And go to Cloud9.
Are you trying to show us something?
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure we can see.
Can anybody see my screen? What can you see?
Yes, we can see your screen, but not the screen you're working on.
How? What can you see?
The themes page. The screen that has the themes opened on. Okay, cool.
Can you see now?
Yes.
Oh, right. So, as I said, this is what I've done that helps me with all my AWS accounts, and I'm able to select one and go into it. So this one. So I've logged it into this one, and I can then choose Cloud9 or go to services, type Cloud9, and I'm in Cloud9. Okay. The user that created Cloud9 has to give permissions to any other user. So this current user that I'm using doesn't have access to this Cloud9 that I created unless I log in as that user. Okay. So this Cloud9 is more or less not accessible now. I can't go into it. So I don't have a problem. I'm going to create a new Cloud9. I'll call it main underscore SSO. Okay. A new EC2 instance. It's going to be the free tier. It's going to be Ubuntu. It needs to time out, stop after 30 minutes using this, not changing anything, and I create. It's quick and easy. So now I have access to this one. But if you look at Cloud9 in all the account, there's two. But this user here doesn't have access to this Cloud9. I can give this user access to this Cloud9, but this user has to do it for this user. But that's not the scope of this training. So I'm in my Cloud9. The next thing I'm going to do is to create a simple free tier EC2 instance that we're going to use today. Okay. So I go to AWS again. And this time around, I go to services and search. But there's a search bar to search for all services here anyway. So I will always type EC2. EC2 means Elastic Cloud Compute. So I go to EC2. That's where they sell their virtual machines. And as you can see in this account, I only have one running. But there are, if I go to instances, there are two machines, but one of them is running. So the other Cloud9 is stopped and there's a new Cloud9. Yeah. So I'm going to launch an EC2. This time around, I'll call it Bernard underscore 2022 underscore June underscore 24 underscore SSH. I'm going to choose a Ubuntu server. I'm going to make sure that it's free tier. It says here, free tier. I'm going to select one of my key pairs, but because this key is probably not where I need it to be, I'll create a new one. I'll copy this and then create a new key pair, paste. I select this one. That's the old key pair. There's a new one. And I'll make sure that it's on PEM. Create has been downloaded for me, completed. The AWS, make sure, as I said, the key that you're going to use to access the door has to be where you're going to access it from. Because if you leave your key, if you want to go into your house and your key is in your car, you can't go into it. So the key that you need to access the house always has to be where you are when you are accessing the house. It's simple. So they've given you the key to the house. They make sure that it's downloaded on your machine. And you also know that this key is for you and you only. Okay. I leave everything as it is. I'll probably select these for now. And then I create this instance. And that's it. Okay. So now the key that I'm going to use to access the machine is actually on my local machine. That's not where I'm going to access the machine from. I'm actually going to access the machine from Cloud9. So I need to move the key to where I'm going to access the machine from. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll go to Cloud9, I go to File, and I go to Upload Local Files, select, and go to Downloads, and the key is there. And now Cloud9 has successfully uploaded the file for me. So now I have the key here. What I was saying was, normally each machine has a place you put all your keys. The default place you put all your keys is this place, CD, and it's default, tilde, / The tilde means home, where your home folder, yeah, .ssh. This is where it's not there. This folder is already not there because we haven't installed the SSH. Oh no, actually I typed the wrong key. Yeah, it's there. So this is the folder, and here you can move all the keys and put it here. Okay, but that means that whenever you want to use the key, you need to be in this location or reference this location every time that you need to use the key. Give me 1 minute. But for simplicity's sake, I will not put it here. So I'll go back to my environment folder. I'll create a new folder, mkdir ssh keys. And as you see in Cloud9, when you create a folder in this environment folder, environment directory, it appears here. If you create it anywhere else, it would not be here. So I can see my keys folder here. I'll just move this one and put it in. That's it. Okay. So now I have my keys folder and all that. I'm going to connect to the machine that I have created in AWS with that key. In Cloud9, yeah, if you go to settings, and you go to think user settings, there's terminal. Okay, so if you go to user settings, there's a terminal here, and you can increase the font size of your terminal. Okay, so I'm making it super huge so that okay. So if you go to settings in Cloud9, go to terminal. On this, in the settings pane, there's a set terminal here. Go to, and then you can increase the font size of your Cloud9. Voila. Okay. So now I'm going to connect to the machine. The best way is either you find the path, so CD SSH, and then PWD. This is the path. This is the path of the key. Okay, this is the path. So if I want to connect to this machine, I have to put this in front of the name of the key, this here. Okay, so I'm going to connect from the environment folder. You'll see how I'll do it. Now I'll go to the machine, find this machine, and I need the location of the machine, the address of the machine. Where is this machine? Now I'm in this Cloud9 here, okay, and I want to go to this machine. When you want to go to someone's house, you need their address, don't you? Their address. Look at an IP address. IP, yeah, this here is called address, isn't it? That's where that's where the machine is at. If you want to go there, you need the address. You need the postcode. If you want to come to my house, you need my address. If you want to go to a machine, you need the address. You got a key, you need to go to the machine. You need the address. The IP here is what you need. You can get this, or you can get this one, or you can go to connect, go to SSH client, and AWS will give you the address. So I will take this. Remember, if you want to go to a house, someone's house, what do? You ask them, show me your address. Now, the problem is when AWS gives you the key, it has some sort of permission that is not right. Yeah. So you need to change the permissions in the AWS in the account. So here, I'm going to change the permissions. Now, what I told you earlier on is that I am in this folder, which is here. That's not where the key is. The key is in this folder. So I'll take all of this and put it in front of the key. So that's the absolute path of the key. The key is in the home directory of Ubuntu in the environment folder, SSH keys that I created. That's where I have put this key. So this is the absolute path. It means that I can run this command anywhere and it will do whatever I want for the key. So it did it. I can run this command in here. I can be anywhere because I'm pointing to the absolute path, the location, the address of the key. Address again. The key specific location is this is the complete address of the key. So if I have every address, it's like I'm coming to your house and you only gave me your house number. So that means I have to be on your street to be able to look for your house number. And that's where if you only have the house number, which is the name of the key, then you should know, you should be already in the address, which is this one. But if I don't have, I have your house number and I also have this, then I can use it directly. Okay, so now this is the address of this file, complete address of this file. That means I can come to this address from anywhere in the world because I know the complete address of the file. And that's what we call absolute path of a file. Yeah, so I can run it here. I can run this command here. It will work because I don't need to be in the location itself. I've added the location of the file to the file name. Okay, this here. Okay, so that's what we call absolute path. So I've changed the permissions. Now AWS says that I should connect with this. Remember, AWS is assuming that you are on the street of where the file is, but I'm not there, so I'm going to use the absolute path. Okay, so when I copy this command, I'll make sure that I put this in front of it. It helps a lot. That means you don't have to always go into the machine. So I'll put this in front of it. Yeah. So I can run it from anywhere now. Anywhere. Okay. Anywhere. So what I normally also do is I create a file, new file, and I put my commands in there for tomorrow. And then I save this. I save the file as useful commands .txt. We are not here to learn English. So if I'm wrong in the spelling, when you're doing it on yours, you write it too well. So I have a file, and the file is created and it's here. So I'll put all my commands in there for later use when I come here. So next time, if I want to connect, I just copy this. Okay. So now I have the absolute path. Sorry, guys. And it's going to ask me to do fingerprint. By now, you probably watched a video about what a fingerprint is. I'm expecting you have to be curious whenever you see all of these things. Oh, let me see what does it mean, a fingerprint, when I'm SSHing YouTube. I say yes, and I'm in the machine. Okay, so now I'm in the machine, and I'm expecting everybody to be able to do this easily. Clear. So I'm now in the machine. I'll stop recording. Anybody